Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. And there we have a ferry heading off to Manly on its morning run, and it's another beautiful summer's day. I can feel a gentle breeze. I can't quite see if there is cloud in the sky, but I can see a couple of stars. So I imagine it's going to be a cracker of a day today. So let's just go for a little brief walk and talk. And what I want to do on this Monday morning is to take you through a book summary. And the book summary that I've chosen to detail today is entitled The Habit Blueprint by Patrick Edblad. So Patrick kicks off this book here with a wonderful quote, and the quote goes as follows: Since you are the biggest expert in the world on your behaviour, I encourage you to take on the roles of both scientist and subject from this point forward. Let life become your experiment and the world your lab. That's a great quote, because each and every one of us are different. Each and every one of us are unique, and we need to become our own scientists at the end of the day, to live this life and to make the most of our calling and of our skills, our unique skills, our gifts of God that are a birthright, that need to be expressed in a way which is empowering and is of service to others around us. So the author talks about the importance of taking on selfification. Everybody's into their selfies, but the author puts a nice little spin on the concept of selfie, and he talks about us becoming selficated. And what is selfication? Selfication, according to this author, is the process of closing the gap between who you are and who you want to be, or who you potentially can be. Closing that gap. So the author then talks about something which I haven't heard before, but I love the concept. He talks about Keystone Habits and breaking our habits down into key habits or keystone habits and other habits. And a keystone habit are the ones that we need to work on, because they're the habits that, if we change, have the greatest impact on our life, our present life and our future life. So the author says, and I wasn't quite aware of this, but at least, and he says roughly 40% of what we do every day is based on autopilot. So most of the things that we do throughout the day, or at least half of the things that we do every day, are on autopilot. So therefore, you don't deliberately choose up to 50% of the things that you get to do, because it just happens. And these auto habits can be either good or bad. So what I've noticed with myself is that every day, if I don't check myself, if I don't deliberately manage my habits, then at about 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when I have a dip in my energy level, when I have a dip in my mood and I feel really just lethargic and run down, because we all have times throughout the day where it hits us. It's that time where I'm at my most vulnerable, and that is a time where I'm most tempted to go and just grab a chocolate, grab a packet of chips, just go and grab something which is going to unravel a litany of other bad habits. So the author says that these habits are automatic pilot. So unless you deliberately do something about it to stop it, you're just going to mindlessly, without even thinking about it, go to the shop, get yourself a donut, get yourself something which is you're going to regret later on, and then you're going to ask yourself, how did I bloody do that? I wasn't even thinking, but I quickly, threw 1,000 calories into my body on automatic pilot. So the author then gives us a call to action that we need to make sure that the things that we do on automatic pilot make us better, serve us, rather than make us worse. So a most powerful and empowering sort of message from this book. So the first habits that we need to focus on to change will be the most transformative. So it just goes to reason that if you make a change, the first changes that you make are going to have the greatest impact. So the author then suggests that if you are going to make a change, or if you are going to deliberately try and rewire your habits and make some changes, that it makes sense to choose keystone habits to change first. So what is a keystone? So in architecture, a keystone is the stone at the very top center position of an arch that holds the arch together. In a similar sort of way, we have some habits that affect our lives more positively than others, as they cause a ripple effect and support further positive behaviours. The sort of keystone habits that we have in our lives that you may want to consider is exercise, because exercise is a habit, a keystone habit for many, because with exercise we get to sleep better, we get to eat better and become more productive and happy. Let's just move off and go on to another point now. So the author gives us a call to action that yes, we need to change, we need to focus on our habits, and their recommendation is to change the keystone habits, the habits which significantly impact and transform our lives and all the other habits we have around us. So the next thing that the author talks about is that we need to eliminate the issues that are caused by willpower, because willpower, whilst people talk about it and depend on it, is very undependable. So we eliminate issues of willpower by making our first steps of change very, very small. Because if you change and you change too fast and too big, the most probable outcome, according to the author, is that we crash and burn. Because willpower, as we all know and as we've learned throughout our lives, fluctuates throughout the day. It's strongest in the morning, and just after a meal it's strongest, but it gradually gets weaker and changes throughout the day. So in order to avoid the fickleness of willpower, we need to break our habits and our changes into small bits, into small bursts of things, and learn to start small and build momentum. So one of the big lessons that I've learned is that willpower is the strongest early in the morning, and the more decisions and the more you use it, the weaker you get throughout the day, and hence why towards the end of the night, when we're at a nightclub, when we had a few beers or a few drinks, that our willpower is at our weakest, and we tend to make the silliest decisions late at night that we regret. We regret the next day, and we may regret for the rest of our lives. So let's move off. I need to get to work, so I'll just go to the lift and we'll continue the walk and talk and finish off the last point. And the last point is, how do you go about keeping these habits in place to maintain and manage the habits that we've put together? And the author talks about building a long chain of habit check-ins in order to overcome the sunk cost fallacy that may infect us. Because our objective view is often corrupted by how emotionally invested we are already based on the habits that we have. Oops, sorry, mate. I just stepped on somebody who was sleeping in front of the lift. How embarrassing and how awkward. Oh geez, I feel so bad. There was a homeless person sleeping in front of the lift, and as I got out, I stepped on him. Anyway, let's continue our walk and talk and finish off this book summary. Oh, I'm a bit shaken by that, but anyway. So what we're saying is that humans have what's the word I'm looking for? Just bear with me now. Humans have there's a fallacy called the sunk cost fallacy. So the more energy and money and time we've spent on doing things, the more stuck we are, the more committed we are to them, even if they're not serving us. So the author then says that we have to work on our habits and to unravel some of those habits by not focusing too much on the time that we've spent with it, just because we've grown up with a certain belief, or we've grown up with certain habits, or we've been indulging in certain habits for so many years of our lives, doesn't mean that we have to stick to them and that they have to have power and control over us. So we need to deliberately work, according to this author, to get onto the right course and the right habit. And we need to work on the habits that deliver us the biggest bang for our buck. So I think that's it for now. A wonderful book summary, a beautiful day. It's 5:45. I'm heading off to work. It's the beginning of the work week, so I wish everybody all the very best, and to have an awesome Monday and an awesome rest of the week. To my friends and family, let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great, even though I just stepped on a homeless person there in front of the lift. Stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and most importantly, let's learn the power of being able to work on our keystone habits and understand that the keystone habits that we have in our lives are the ones which impact our health, our mental health, our physical health. So exercise, eating, sleeping, and if you get those habits right, if you get those habits really, really right, they have a flow-on effect, they have a ripple effect which can improve your whole life. So if you're going to make some changes, be considered in the things that you're going to change, and change the things that are going to have the greatest impact on your health and your life. Stop smoking, stop overindulging in substances, spend more time eating well, or thinking about what you're going to eat, be more deliberate, and all of these things will have a significant impact, potentially, hopefully, on all of your other habits, because at the end of the day, everything is linked together in some way, shape or form. So what you want to do is you want to do things that are going to support and encourage other areas of your life and to bring you a better life. So I think we'll finish off there. So thank you very much, and I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow from a different location with a different message, a message of empowerment. And have a great week. Yassas from Jim's 5am Club, and we'll chat again. Bye for now.